A day with Florida's wildest sheriff, Tommy G. Florida, Tommy G, sheriff. I honestly don't even know what to expect. So, I mean, Tommy's shit is always crazy. So, yeah, that's what he's tapping into.
On Facebook, TikTok, or other social media, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office has made a routine of putting arrests and suspects front and center. But the videos are becoming heavily scrutinized, now by Mackenzie LaPointe, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida.
When we have those that are going to come into our community and try to victimize them, we're going to chase them to the ends of the earth.
Who's the best at pit maneuvers in this room?
Probably me, because I'm an instructor on it.
A lot of these individuals take flight. So they had enough balls to come here and victimize our citizens. Our deputies are going to put them through the ringer. They're going to end up landing in Pearson's penthouse where they belong.
Pearson's penthouse.
I ain't gonna lie, that sheriff
Florida
seemed
sheriffs
lame
have
as
a
hell
notorious
already.
reputation for their no-nonsense, tough-on-crime approach. And perhaps no man better exemplifies this than St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. To some, he's a legend. A man we're in the age where you wonder if the police body cam footage will be released to the public. He takes an unorthodox approach, broadcasting live, using social media to amplify his mission and encourage transparency. And he's not just some scrub on desk duty. He has spent years in the field, going on raids, doing high-speed chases in the Hellcat, and rocking the shiesty mask before it became popular. But to others, his antics are too much, over the top, and he's been criticized for being controversial.
This man is unethical. He should not even be our dog catcher.
Now by Mackenzie LaPointe, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Through a public record request, I learned LaPointe and Pearson discreetly spoke on the phone in April. LaPointe's concerns the videos hurt law enforcement's credibility. This is the first post LaPointe says he took issue with.
What the fuck? Oh, nah, this nigga's crashing out. Bro, what? How is this nigga still in his position? He's literally flicking up with the YN right next to him. Yeah, nah, this nigga's a certified YC, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Writing, quote, this disturbing image comes across as if the sheriff is posing with an antelope that he just shot on a safari.
Together, we get to dive in and see what this man is all about. Boots on the ground with Florida's
bro.
sheriff. Let's get to it.
He's literally a little ignorant if he was a police officer.
Is it a good idea for a sheriff to leverage social media and be more transparent to the people that elected him? Or is it unprofessional to be filming the people you arrest?
This nifty gear is thanks to the sponsor of today's video,
Atomic Defense. And folks, if you have a dangerous job,
no
like
promo, no promo, no free promo.
And they made a custom link for you, the viewer, to shop.
Hey there, I have a meeting with Sheriff Pearson, just trying to get through the fence. Good morning, how are you?
Hey there, Marianne. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Top of the morning to you. Good to meet you, man.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you?
You're all set up.
Yes, this is apparently can stop most things in the street today, from ARs to AK-47s to blickies to even guns with switches, which I'm sure you've encountered out in the wild.
No, we have Glock, Amazon switches, and everything coming over from China. In the free state of Florida, you know, we're a Second Amendment state. You can go to a gun shop and buy one.
Really?
You know, so
You can buy switches in Florida?
Yeah, absolutely. You can modify your
The
gun.
ATF doesn't come
What?
around?
Well, you have to go through the process. You have to go
Okay.
through the ATF process. I encourage our deputies to go out there and arrest.
I ain't never knew from the legal side that police did not care about switches. Florida's the place, bro.
Anyone who wants to victimize
Niggas
our
don't care
criminals,
about
I
cats, they
encourage
don't care
them to
about
do that.
switches.
When we
We
have
can do
those
anything
that are
over
going
here
to
for
come
real,
into our
bro.
community and try to victimize them, whether it's porch pirates, whether it's people looking to smash and grabs, we're going to chase them to the ends of the earth.
These individuals have an extensive criminal history, very violent, lots of narcotic sales. They know that they've been doing wrong, breaking the law for quite some time. They just don't know when they're going to get caught again. So just our mere presence, a lot of these individuals take flight.
All units 10-3 in pursuit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to see.
We just came to check a house that we've done multiple sales of cocaine at.
If they get in a vehicle and they decide to run, our deputies not only have the training, they have the policies to back them up to stop them in their tracks.
Do you guys do pit maneuvers?
100%. We're at the brink of society running rampant.
Damn, bro. I mean, is that Lowkey like profiling at that point? If you just pull up to a suspected house, it's not like they had any real cold hard evidence. But it's Lowkey on the nigga for running. It's like, damn, bro. Lowkey just sit on your 10 toes and just chill at the front, dog. You start running and you look suspicious.
In your way for fighting crime right now.
Soft on crime ideology. Those that want to hand out ice cream cones to felons instead of handcuffs. But we know January 20th, a lot of that's going to change. The handcuffs are going to be coming off the federal law enforcement and going back on the criminals where they belong.
Yeah, I'm St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. Franklin Sanders and his juvenile companion thought they were going to come through St. Lucie County with a stolen vehicle with the Broward Task Force on their tail. Ain't happening.
Part of me thinks in the prison system we can come up with a
this nigga made a whole TikTok.
Well, hopefully individuals.
Nah.
With the Broward
This nigga had a
Task Force on their tail. Ain't happening.
Part of me
this nigga had a stolen Beamer and he had his shit cuffed on the floor listening to a
well, hopefully individuals who hadn't crossed that line to victimize our citizens see these videos and they understand that there's consequences to actions.
Oh, you got some warrants there, Michael.
I got warrants?
Yeah.
For what?
Sale and delivery cocaine.
Ooh, that boy stacked though.
I got 4 sale charges. Who I sold and delivered to?
Yeah, I don't know what he had, to be honest with you.
You have agencies, and mainly in our northerner states, that have woke ideology. You can't hold a criminal accountable if you can't catch them. So if they know you're going to get behind them and turn the lights on and they're going to flee, well, what are they going to do? They're criminals. They don't want to be caught. So of course they're going to stop. But if they get behind and they know a deputy's behind them or a Florida trooper's behind them and they put the lights on, they know I've got about 5 seconds to make a decision before they put me in a ditch. So they had enough balls to come here and victimize our citizens. Our deputies are going to put them through the ringer, and we're going to let them. They're going to end up landing in Pearson's penthouse where they belong.
Pearson's penthouse. Most police forces around the country have shied away from social media, but you lean into it.
That's what the people want. When you communicate with the public, they want to see transparency.
Yes.
But the media is fake. We all know that. The future is YouTube channels. The future is connecting with the community directly, cutting the middleman out, who's going to change it to fit their agenda. What do the traditional media folks do?
They take your video, your story, they put their own words over it and package it.
There you have it.
The Real plays music with
he's not a stupid dude though. He does have some common sense. He's just a very by the book dude, but not stupid at all.
Racially insensitive references.
New
in a
car
response,
is a base?
Pearson said, quote, that he wholeheartedly disagrees with your statement and that, quote, we will continue to highlight criminals and crimes in an effort to dissuade those thinking about breaking our laws.
And again, the woke ideology, Florida is where snowflakes come to melt, and I hope it stays that way.
You want to give us a tour?
Yeah, we'll give you a tour.
What's the difference between a sheriff and a chief of police?
So the sheriff is constitutionally elected.
Okay.
So we're elected, just how the president is elected. The chief of police works for a city, municipality.
Police chiefs get appointed by city leaders like the mayor or city council, and sheriffs get elected by the people of a county every 4 years. The other big thing is jurisdiction. Police chiefs typically run a town or city, while sheriffs run the entire county.
How many people do you oversee?
So right now we're at about 750. We have deputies in every single school in St. Lucie County to ensure our kids stay safe. So we have 18 years of these kids seeing our deputies every single day in a positive light. They're not only there to make sure that our kids engage with law enforcement, they're there to protect our kids. Major Steve Sigman, he's in charge of law enforcement. And when you ask how does it feel to be the CEO of a $100 million company with you're close to 800 employees, you can't do it without great leaders like Major Sigman.
What builds that budget? How do you get the money for that budget?
Citizens. We go through a budgetary hearing every year. The county commissioners approve the budget.
The sheriff's office is largely taxpayer funded?
It's 100% taxpayer funded.
No civil forfeiture?
No civil.
Bro, that budget be no joke. This is like on a public level, whether it be public schools, public transportation, public services like the police, fire department, that budget is everything. So they may act like, oh, we do it, this is a high end. Like, notice he didn't say this was a service, he said this is a business. That boy's talking like the budget like it means everything, and because it does mean everything for them. Them boys, everybody you see here is not a nice dude, bro. They be treating this shit like a stat book.
Forfeiture.
That nigga literally faced to fucking Tommy G.
So
call
we
that
have
shit a
our
business.
analysts here that throughout the day,
That's
monitor
how you know that
radio
mindset
channels.
different.
If our deputies respond to a bank call, a stolen vehicle, we have the display up here to where we can see what's happening. The ladies inside this room right here is literally the heartbeat of the agency. You know, they're funneling out information. When our deputies are responding to a bank robbery, when our deputies are responding to a missing child, and they're sorting through all the background stuff, because we want our deputies focused on driving, getting there as fast as they can. So this is a portion of our traffic unit. This is Sergeant Evans. He's in charge of the traffic unit.
Who's the best at pit maneuvers in this room?
Probably me, because I'm an instructor on it.
Some of you guys see some really rough things. They see, you know, kid neglect. They see abuse. They see shootings. They see dead people. I mean, they see a lot of really rough things.
Either make contact or entry at the residence that the two suspected homicide suspects are hiding in.
Moments later, a man fitting the description of the suspect exits the home.
Bro, what is this transition? What am I watching right now?
It's the shooting suspect.
How do you guys work through that?
We'll have our peer support group reach out to them, and it's an app that we put on their work phone so that they hit the button, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's financial issues, whether it's seeing something terrible, decompressing. We have that availability to them. If they want to step up and they think that they need the help, we have those resources for them and their families.
What is your take on civil forfeiture?
Oh, I use it all the time. So this Mustang here was seized.
When did they start rocking ghost bikes? Oh no, that shit is definitely confiscated. What is this? Like, what is this, a 600 or a liter? Like, I don't know bikes. But that shit does look pretty clean though.
Mustang here was seized. This Mustang was seized from a chop shop. Mainly it's vehicles. We'll have a drug dealer in a vehicle use a vehicle, while they're committing drug deals. Or we'll have these street takeovers. We had a motorcycle, BMW S1000 was seized from an individual who makes videos on TikTok, taunting the police, doing street takeovers, driving 100 or 191 miles an hour, just in and out of traffic. Just causing chaos, running from the police. I think his quote was, he's happy that law enforcement agency is putting it into use that has the balls to drive it, or something along those lines.
We were just talking earlier about property theft. That almost seems like legalized property theft, but under the badge.
No way they caught that shit on the road. How to take it from the crib, bro. That shit is way too fast.
When things are used as an instrumentality of a crime.
But doesn't that sound like a little bit of a reach?
No, not at all. I don't think so. A lot of the stories that people hear about is person driving down the road, they had a whole bunch of money on them, they stopped and they said, I think this is drug money.
Yes.
And they would take, those days are gone.
Okay. Do you agree that
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Are you having any trouble recruiting?
No, we've got lines around we're not the highest paid agency either, but I think being able to connect with the community, being able for the younger generation, the newer generation to see that we want them to be cops. As long as our deputies use their judgment and do it for the right reasons, I got their back 100%. But if they mess up and they do the wrong thing, I'm also going to slam them just as hard.
Yeah. And folks, just a reminder, if you want to get the big dogs gotta eat sweatshirts, RIP Main Street.
My boy. We're chilling with the promo.
People being in a car naked, getting pulled over to, I was in narcotics and vice for the longest time, and this is going back about 10 years ago. I go make a drug purchase. I think it was oxycodone at the time. Bought trafficking him out from an individual. He ends up getting arrested, goes through the process, gets in trouble, gets sentenced to prison, goes to prison for a year or two, gets out. The day that he gets out, I'm still in my undercover mode, just different places. We cross paths at a gathering, at another event, and he's there selling again. Well, he recognizes me, and he goes, hey, you're that motherfucker that put me away. So there's no backup. There's no, if you're really undercover, you're really undercover. So I said, hey man, my bad, the cops pulled me over on the way here, and I didn't know you at the time, so I figured if I gave them somebody, they'd let off me, and they did. So my bad, I won't do you like that again. So he was thinking in his head, like, I would do the same thing. He's like, oh shit, makes sense. He goes, all right, he sold to me again, right there on the spot. And then obviously he's in prison again. But that's
so anybody who's been selling dope is hiding. They know we're coming for him. So we'll be right back out at it tomorrow.
These really running that SRT prior seatbelt? Yeah, they were driving a scat, right? I peeped that too. Niggas confiscate and seize anything and then want to whip it.
This week.
What are you guys training for in particular now?
The basics of this training is from a source, Cadre
go, my boy.
Consultants. They're out of Broward.
Block.
Ultimately, this is going to lead into CQC training.
Close quarter combat.
Yeah.
Now he's in charge of the SWAT team. He makes sure that every one of our deputies are dead accurate shots, as you can see. He makes sure that our training, their training is top tier level. Make sure they have all the equipment they need to succeed the missions. He's directly responsible for every one of the SWAT team members. And again, it's a heavy burden to take on, you know, to know that you're instructing and you're giving the team and the guidance to officers that have to wear ballistic material to go in there and get the people that don't want to be caught.
What's the biggest thing you want to accomplish in the county?
Probably just see some of the crime reduced, you know, some of the shootings. Fort Pierce has seen a lot of shootings. Maybe get in there and try to reduce some of the violence.
It's certainly a very high-risk job. What's something you think the average person back home might not know about your profession that you could tell them?
When they see all these guys with all this equipment on, you know, sometimes they have a tendency to forget that there's a human being with a family, with kids, with loved ones that goes out and does this job every day to make other people safe, and just to kind of remember, they're not just machines, they're not robots.
How has it felt in the last 4 years, especially since the George Floyd incident? Policing has been really, like, people have just shit on it in America.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have.
You know, we're not having those issues here because, you know, we've always engaged with the community. You know, our previous sheriff, Sheriff Ken Mascara, was in office for 23 years. His biggest focus was on community engagement and being personable, being tailorable. You know, my cell number is out there to any one of our residents.
Really?
And I would say the pendulum's starting to go back the other way, where the public wants more cops in their community and wants them to, you know, take action against all this crime.
You know, treat everybody with respect and show them that just because there's one bad apple in the bunch, the whole bunch isn't ruined.
Yeah, nah, it's tough, bro. Yeah, the Sean beef is funny as hell, but even what he said right there, like the bad apple in the bunch, there is no such thing as being the police officer, like on the right side, brother. You being a police officer is, I guess you could say at the base of it, regulating societal behavior. So it's not a simple thing as a yes or no, red, white, or blue, or black and white line. Regulating societal behaviors is such a complex problem within itself. Like it's almost like parenting. I gotta cut this up like crazy. Societal, like regulating societal behaviors is I guess you could say a task of a parent, right? And then you can have the greatest parent in the world and still technically raise a thug. So cops necessarily do the same thing as a parent would do, but just with adults and people of all ages. So for you to be a bad of the bunch or a good of the bunch is kind of like that doesn't even exist. You're both at the same time simultaneously. Being a cop is just like, it's just tough in all aspects, gang. You're gonna have hate all the time, you're gonna have love all the time.
How often when you guys are doing a raid, let's say you're raiding someone for fentanyl, how often does a shootout actually occur?
He's right there. Come out! Come over here! Come out!
Damn, real Florida nigga got the dirt bike in the crib.
Let's go! Move! Move! I don't care! Move!
Shield up.
Coming up, Mikey. Small room.
We'll clear this side of the house.
We surround the house. We make our presence known. We use the presence of marked units and verbal de-escalation. We give the commands. We ask them to come outside. They 9 times out of 10 realize that we're not going anywhere. It is in fact a search warrant. We have a legal reason to be there. And generally they'll come out realizing that, look, there's a show of force. We're going to end up coming in anyway. It's inevitable. So we usually get the intended result with the least use of force possible.
Tonight we're taking part in a multi-agency enhanced traffic enforcement operation. Some of the detectives stopped the vehicle for some traffic violations, and they transmitted that they've recovered a large amount of narcotics. We're going to head that way and see if we could help with anything. There it is. You know, it's inconspicuous. It's the shape of a kilo. We hadn't had a
cutting open yet to check it, but the dog alerted to it. They said the item was initially concealed underneath it in there, so we're gonna contact our crime scene unit, have them come out, process it. It's a fairly large amount of narcotics from what we're seeing at this point right now. There's one. And there's another kilo of cocaine.
What are the most common things some police...
I don't get this, bruh. I know I just went on a whole fucking rant, but like, there has to be some better way. There has to be some better way to regulate society, because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, as a police officer, are they? I guess they are helping society. But as like from the perspective of a police officer, right? Imagine someone's been on the job for 30 years. For 30 years, you've been doing the same thing. Like the same thing just keeps popping up. No matter how many criminals you arrest, no matter how many drug dealers you arrest, cocaine's gonna still pop up. Cocaine popped up in 2014. It's gonna pop up in 2015. Popped up in 2015. It's popped up in 2016. Every single fucking video on YouTube I see of a police officer is still the same shit over and over and over again. That shit be repetitive as fuck, bro. So as a police officer, I don't know how you do that shit every day.
When it comes down to law enforcement, when it comes down to fixing problems,
that's what I'm saying. Like that mindset right there, people. He said fixing problems, brother. They're not even fixing problems. It's just this like endless loop that they're in.
It's very simple. Just you got to go right back to the basics. We've been a community, or we've been people have been on the earth for many years, and then we evolve. But you can only evolve so far. Evil's evil. People are going to commit crime. You have to just face it straight on and use what you have within your means. Budget plays a big role in it. Not every agency has the.
He's still talking about the budget. Telling you about that budget.
Crime center to have LPR cameras that only assist our deputies with going out there and locking people up.
We're here at the Sheriff Aviation Unit. This madman's gonna take us up in the sky when there's an impending storm. I'm not exactly thrilled about it, but you bought the ticket, you take the ride. So on a risk scale, going up.
He's nervous.
I can't determine that until we actually see what's coming.
Until we fly, right? Fly until you can't fly. You ready?
Who's going?
Probably the three of us. That's all right.
Best of luck, guys.
His name is Schoner.
Sergeant Schoner. Yep.
He doesn't seem very excited right now, and he's.
Well, they're real serious, because they take
real serious.
Yeah.
Is smiling a crime in this jurisdiction?
No.
This is one way to spin the block, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely bend the block with this one, right?
Definitely bend the block with this one. Nah, that is pretty hard though. I ain't gonna lie.
I slid.
You slid, Jet. If we do spot a child predator as we're flying, are we allowed to just shoot out of the window and try and get him?
No, can't do that.
Is that where we deploy the dogs and the tactical team?
I would radio down, but I don't think we're going to be able to see any predators from the sky.
Is it on your dream list to arrest P. Diddy?
No.
What?
So is this going to be a no-joke flight?
Yeah. Well, because you got to remember, we're going to be flying, in the air. There are a lot of instruments. This is probably one of our most. Look how clean the floor is. Very, very dangerous and serious flight.
Helicopters are a very important tool in crime fighting and public safety. For safety, a bird in the sky can help locate someone in the ocean that has had a boating accident, and for crime, it can help with things like smugglers using boats and high-speed car chases. Any car thief with enough experience will tell you that a helicopter adds another dimension of difficulty to getting away from the authorities.
End of day, they clock in, check first. What? I'm lost on that comment. Here's another thing that I thought of too. What makes this job as an outside perspective just seem so mundane? Not only do they fight an endless war for years, it seems the techniques and technologies they're using have not evolved at all. Yes, maybe they have newer quote unquote better helicopters. But bro, it's like now we have so much more digital access to information, whether it be through towers, satellites, phones. Like, I feel like half this shit isn't even needed. Cops, dogs, all that shit. Honestly, bro, that shit isn't really even needed. If niggas were to just spend that budget, fire all these dudes, and put cameras all over the place, that shit would be way more effective than this shit. Or hire more hackers and more digital like tracking services for certain individuals if they have a record. That shit would be way more effective than this shit. Yeah, this shit just seems so repetitive to me, fam. I mean, in the end of the day, even if their stuff never improves, they end to get paid first. RoboCop 2026. Oh, I've never seen RoboCop. You're saying that they're just doing this for the bread? Honestly, fuck the bread. If you gonna do this for the quote unquote bread, just go to the military at that point, fam. I ain't gonna lie. Or be a firefighter, some shit. I don't think niggas really picking police officers. No, I've never heard a nigga talking about I'm finna be a police officer for the bread.
But that was actually pretty damn smooth. I enjoyed that. I'm glad we did it.
No, absolutely. How are we doing in booking? Do we have any movements or is it busy or? I'm pulling up to the Sally Port. If you want to let us in, we're going to come into the Sally Port. If you just want to meet us out there. We've got upwards of 40 deputies on shift out here. I mean, it's one of the largest moving pieces, because we're entrusted to keep, our community safe. What's happening, buddy? Good. This is our intake area. They get brought in, they get placed up here, they get searched, they make sure they have nothing in here.
Come on in here. This is where we do what we call the pat-down area, or to make sure no one has any weapons or drugs or anything like that before entering the secure area of the facility. All their property is taken from them at this point. Your misdemeanor and light felons in male will get blue uniform. You can see the orange over on the other side if they are a violent inmate or they have a violent past.
They have a database that we get a thumbprint from them, and it kind of puts a light, not an AFIS, but not a 100% fingerprint match, but it's our own little database because our deputies do have fingerprint readers on the street. So in the event that a deputy encounters somebody and they don't have ID or they don't want to be cooperative, we're able to use a small device to get a fingerprint. If they've ever been arrested before, it'll give us a close match to them. So it'll at least give us a roll. Now, this is our holding. Usually we'll keep people separate. If we have males and females, we'll keep females in one, males in another. So when they come into here, this is an X-ray machine that they're able to do a body scan on to see if there's anything on them, anything hidden in their cavities.
Check them in the rectum, they say?
Well, I'm not sure if that's the terminology they use, but this would be the device that does the body scan, and it would be able to determine if there's something there hidden. Sometimes when people come into the facility, they're not necessarily drunk, but just out of control or violent or wanting to fight or lash out.
It would suck to have to get strapped onto this.
It does. No, I think it's
Damn, they got bro in a plastic bag and all too. What is this? A mental asylum?
They're here. They're banging their head on the wall. But once they're in this, they're put on camera. They're on constant surveillance.
Who makes money from the bonds? The bond company?
Yeah, I think it would be the bond company.
But you don't see any of that?
No, I wish. It would definitely help, but we don't get no money from tickets, despite what people think. We don't get any money from bondsmen, when they process it. So this is our processing area. This is Sergeant Lamb.
How you doing? I'm Tom.
This is where they would take their photos, they'd fingerprint them, they'd put a band, wristband on them, and then when they're going to call their bondsman or make a phone call, here's the holding cell. You have the phone call. So this is where they call home. They've got a list of different bondsmen. They'd make their free call from here.
So 10 dudes could be in here, and they all share one toilet?
20 or 30 dudes in here.
And they all share one toilet?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Guys, sorry. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
And then-
amazing that
No
jail
toilet
prison
paper
isn't
too.
more of a
That shit look
deterrent.
kinda
I can't
crazy.
imagine spending more than an hour here and being like, okay, I'm never doing anything again that'll get me here.
Well, if somebody out there is homeless and they don't have the means to have their house or food or whatever, or warmth, when are they going to come here? They're going to come here during the winter times.
Of course, so I totally get it for
Oh my
home-
god, bro. This seemed like the lamest nigga of life, bro. Holy fuck, I ain't gonna
person. This is a great
This
option.
nigga pissed
if you're
me off,
homeless.
bro. I ain't gonna
But
lie.
for the other guys, what do you think makes someone a habitual offender? Like, why do you think this isn't bad enough to not want to repeat?
Really not much more than we can attribute it to that. It's just how they're raised. We do have programs here to hopefully get them out of that. But some of them are just going to keep coming back and forth.
Does that blow your mind a little bit, though?
It did when I first started. Been here almost 18 years. I'm kind of moved to it at this point, so it doesn't really affect me anymore.
You know, on the flip note, look how clean this place is. I mean, who wouldn't want to come to Pearson's penthouse? It's pretty clean.
I want to come here.
You know, come on.
Thank
So
you.
I think they had 4 bag lunches for us. This is our lunch. We haven't been busy.
Thank you. This is a typical jail meal.
When they go out, yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh, 2 sandwiches. Oh.
Turkey.
This actually doesn't look so bad.
No, it doesn't.
Give a close up. I don't know what kind of
Oh, you got.
What is that, little Oreo too? That is not too bad, bro.
pattern of the meat.
All right, one bite. Everyone knows the
Shit.
rules. What do you grade that turkey sandwich?
That's damn near fucking public school lunch
They
grade.
actually have a real thick piece of turkey. If this was an airport, it'd be like, you know, a fraction of this. Which as far as jail food goes, this is pretty good.
Good. I'm glad that our culinary department is up to par.
I can already tell how it tastes.
Oh, how does it taste? Tell us.
Bread and turkey.
He not fucking with it. Nah, that shit ass. This shit ass.
I feel like it's really good bread. Like
The bread
I
makes
thought
the
the bread was
sandwich.
gonna be more tough or like more kind of stale.
Nah, that shit was straight ass game. He ain't gotta lie, bruh. We know that shit was.
While it's important for Keith to be tough on crime, he is also passionate about building opportunities for the community. Here's a gym that his father started in his time as an officer, and Keith has kept going while he's worn the badge.
This is our way that we give kids in the community to have a place to come to. This is 100% volunteer base, so everyone that comes in here.
So this is provided by the department?
The sheriff's office sponsors it, but it's totally funded from the community. The building's owned outright by the nonprofit. It's a police athletic league, and we were talking a little bit earlier about giving kids options and opportunity. This is a vessel to do that. So in 1994, we saw that a lot of kids in our community didn't have the parents, didn't have the mentorship, didn't have the guidance. So we brought a police athletic league here to our community.
Shout out to the
give
PAL.
kids the key word, opportunity. We've sent kids to the kids from our community. We've sent to the Olympics with the traits and characteristics.
I'm pretty
that
sure the PAL is a national thing. Like where I'm from, bro, there's a bunch of PALs. Dog.
So we're taking action. We're putting programs in place. It's free to the kids there.
So what you're starting to hit on that I think is really important is the community policing aspect.
You have to be a part of your community to effectively police your community. If you're just running off of policies and not changing with the community, not engaging with the community, then that's all you're going to be. The community's not going to have trust in you because you're only going to be there when there's problems. We focus on combat sports because if you do team sports, think of this for a second. There's football practice. Your parents just got into a fight or someone just got arrested or there's an alcohol substance abuse and you missed practice. Now you're letting the team down. When you come back, what happens? You get benched. You get benched for no other reason that you missed practice for things out of your control. So doing combat sports, boxing, wrestling, karate, it's you against you. So if they come and they miss a week, when they come back, they could pick up right where they left off.
And the self-confidence to be able to defend yourself.
You're pissed off at the world, you come in here, 9 out of 10 times these kids never even make it to the ring. But they'll go back to one of those punching bags there and they'll let go of that frustration.
Yeah.
I'm trying to expand and do other.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, how hard is it to recruit your friends to come train here?
My friends not really so hard. It depends. It depends if you know somebody that's motivated or very dedicated. If you surround yourself with people that are driven, it's not really so hard.
The organization's been here since 1994. So there's generations of people who've come here for just that opportunity to come out and go to different events. And we're not a typical gym. You know, when you go away on an event, what does it cost you? You know, we pay for the transport, we pay for the house, you know, the hotels. We set them up there. We've got great mentors that are here.
All right.
Nobody
Lowkey cap, Lowkey cap.
Volunteer based.
The POW don't do really all that, but what the POW basically does is like, this is like a smaller POW though, where that building is. I used to play ball at the POW, so the POW just has like soccer leagues, they got basketball leagues. It's a cool little place. Now, all the shit he was talking about, they don't really do. But you can sign up, pay some bread, like for a cheap little fee, and then you can get some coaching and stuff. Depending on how much the budget is in your area, it could be a pretty cool facility. This one doesn't have that much of a budget, but the POW is a cool place.
It's for the community, by the community.
2025, what's on your list to knock out of the park?
Well, we just want to secure our borders. You know, we're 60 miles away
That's
from
what
the
I'm
Bahamas.
saying, bro. What? I gotta, after this vid, I gotta figure out, I might have to just sit down and stare off into the wall about why this video bothers me so much in this job. You're telling me that he has to control his borders? Imagine someone tells you control our borders, right? The president tells you to control your borders, and you're like the head of whatever, your department or whatever, and this is the problem you're facing. Look at all this massive energy that's just coming your way, and you have to deflect and bounce off of this. Like, yo, this is like so mundane. This nigga gonna have to do this for the next 20 years on the job. Deflect all this energy from, oh my God, bro. That shit just, I think, you know what it is, bro? I think this just might be like so overwhelming for the reward is just not worth it. You put in so much grind to regulate societal behaviors, such as mass energies like this, people trying to make it to a different country for the betterment of their lives, and you have to deflect it for a little ass paycheck, and just for the pride of saying, oh, I maybe have made a little dent in my, or made a little dent of improvement in my community. Like, nah, bro. The reward is not worth it, bro.
We want to secure our borders. You know, we're 60 miles away from the Bahamas. And what happens is, you know, when the border in Texas tightens up, we have vessels that come over. So we have those that want to enter our country illegally. And when they come over illegally, they're not, this isn't humanitarian. This isn't families. Most of them have criminal backgrounds, and they're bringing kilos of fentanyl, kilos of cocaine, weapons, things to harm our citizens.
Most of the people you encounter crossing the border have criminal backgrounds.
Yes, sir. You know what, I'm reflecting back on that question that you asked me earlier. Well, what's the goals for 2025? America first. We're gonna put America first. We're gonna put our American citizens first. We're gonna put our border first. We're gonna put the lives affected by the poison fentanyl coming into our communities first.
Folks, this was an inside look into the wildest sheriff in Florida. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you next week. Peace. And guys, one final reminder to take advantage of what atomic defense.
Chill bit. I mean, I did say I wanted to talk about just the police and the mundane shit, but I think I finally clicked on that last thing. Yeah, bro, I just, for the risk, not the risk, for the effort, it's just literally not worth the reward. The one positive with career paths like this is you have peace of mind, right? You have peace of mind. You literally, for the next 30 years, at least, here's what I say about this. At least you're not in an office doing a 9-to-5 on the computer, and after 40 years of working on in your career path, you come home and you're fucking 60 saying, bro, remember when so-and-so forgot the fact sheet and then Tommy found him out? Ha ha ha. That's what all these business heads, that's all the stories that they really have, bro, because they were just at the computer their whole life. This, at least the nigga gonna have some stories to tell. You know, he built some character to that, yada yada yada. But I think the biggest thing that you could take from this is just peace of mind. Even though it's like a hard job and it's not much reward, at least every day he can go to his job and just know that he has to focus on one thing and one thing only, and he could dedicate himself to that craft. I mean, at the highest levels of thinking, at the highest levels of consciousness, you have monks that just go off into the mountains, right? That's literally the highest level you can get in the world. And what do they have, bro? Absolutely nothing. So for me to say that this job is like not the greatest, it's kind of like biased in a sense, because if at the highest level of consciousness is at the highest level of peace, quote unquote, is being or having necessarily nothing materialistically, then I can't really bash this career path on not having a gain, when gain is not necessarily the main thing you should focus on when living life. Deep, way really deep for this regular ass Florida Wildest Sheriff Tommy G video. But yeah, nah, something was bothering me about this video. I didn't really like fuck with the sheriff shit, so I was just trying to think about why niggas is really a sheriff. But yeah, excessive breakdown from Uncle Eli, and yeah, W Tommy G video.